Let me share with you a principle that many find difficult to grasp. Every desire you've ever had, every longing you've ever felt, was placed within you by your deeper self, preparing you for something far greater than your conscious mind could conceive. Your desires are not random. They are the language through which your divine self communicates with your outer self. Many of you come to me seeking specific manifestations, a particular job, a specific relationship, a certain amount of money. But I tell you this, while you fixate on these specific forms, your divine self is orchestrating something far more magnificent than your limited consciousness can imagine. The very fact that you're hearing these words now is evidence that you're being prepared for a manifestation beyond your current understanding. Consider this: every great gift you've received in your life came not from your conscious planning, but from a deeper working on your behalf. Think back to the most profound moments of your life. Did you plan them? Did you consciously arrange them? Or did they arrive unexpectedly, yet perfectly timed? When you truly grasp this principle, something remarkable happens to your entire approach to manifestation. You stop trying to control every detail. You stop limiting yourself to what your conscious mind can conceive. You begin to trust in the infinite wisdom of your deeper self, knowing that it is preparing experiences far beyond your current understanding. Let me tell you something vital about this process. Your conscious desires are merely shadows of deeper desires you don't yet recognize. When you long for a specific job, your deeper self might be preparing you for a completely different career that will fulfill you far more completely. When you fixate on a particular relationship, your divine self might be orchestrating connections that will transform your understanding of love entirely. Here's a profound truth about receiving what you don't yet know you need. It requires a complete surrender of your limited concepts about what's best for you. This is not passive resignation. It is active trust in the infinite wisdom of your deeper self. This surrender to your deeper wisdom is not what most of you think it is. It's not about giving up or letting go of your desires. Rather, it's about expanding your consciousness to embrace something far greater than your current limited concept of what you need or want. Let me share with you what happens in consciousness when this surrender becomes complete. First, all anxiety about your future falls away. All desperate seeking ceases. All compulsive planning dissolves. You enter a state of alert expectancy, knowing that something magnificent is being prepared for you, even though your conscious mind cannot yet conceive of what it might be. Many of you resist this surrender because you believe it means losing control. But I tell you this, what you call control is actually limitation. Your conscious mind, with its limited understanding, has been restricting the infinite possibilities that your deeper self could manifest for you. Consider this: every truly transformative gift in your life came wrapped in a package you wouldn't have chosen. The relationship that changed everything didn't match your criteria. The career that fulfilled you wasn't in your 5-year plan. The opportunity that transformed your life came through a door you didn't even know existed. When you truly understand this principle, something remarkable happens to your relationship with desire. You stop seeing your desires as demands that must be fulfilled exactly as you've imagined them. Instead, you'll recognize them as signals, as indicators pointing towards something far greater than your current understanding can grasp. Let me tell you something crucial about this process. Your deeper self is already aware of every potential, every possibility, every perfect manifestation that could serve your highest good. While your conscious mind struggles to figure out how to get what you think you want, your deeper self is orchestrating circumstances that will bring you what you truly need. Here's a profound truth about this orchestration. It's happening right now, in this very moment. Even as you hear these words, wheels are in motion, circumstances are being arranged, connections are being formed that will bring you exactly what you need, even though you don't yet know what that is. The very fact that you're hearing these words is not an accident. Your deeper self has brought you here because you're ready to receive something beyond your current understanding. The desires that brought you here like trail markers, leading you to a destination far more magnificent than your conscious mind could have planned. These divine arrangements being made on your behalf are far more intricate and perfect than anything your conscious mind could devise. Your deeper self is weaving together countless threads of circumstance, creating a tapestry of manifestation that will astound you when it's finally revealed. Let me share with you how this divine orchestration works. Right now, as you hear these words, there are people being moved into position in your world. There are circumstances being arranged. There are opportunities being created that will perfectly align with what you truly need, even though you don't yet know what that is. Many of you worry about missing opportunities or making wrong choices. But I tell you this, when you're aligned with your deeper self, you cannot miss what's meant for you. The very desire that brought you here is evidence that you're being guided towards something far greater than your current understanding can grasp. Consider this. Every person who will play a significant role in your future manifestation is already being prepared. Just as you are being prepared, they too are being guided by their deeper selves, moving them into perfect alignment with the role they will play in your unfolding story. When you truly grasp this principle, all sense of rush and urgency falls away. You understand that timing is not in your hands, but in the hands of your deeper self, which knows exactly when every element needs to come together for your perfect manifestation. Let me tell you something vital about this divine timing. It operates outside of your conscious concept of time. While your outer self might be impatient for results, your deeper self is orchestrating events in perfect sequence, knowing that premature manifestation will rob you of the very thing you truly need. Here's a profound truth about these arrangements. They are being made not just in what you call the future, but in what you call the past as well. Your deeper self exists outside of time, orchestrating all moments simultaneously to bring about your perfect good. Think about this: every disappointment you've experienced, every seeming failure, every delayed manifestation has been perfectly orchestrated to prepare you for what's coming. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been a mistake. Everything has been preparation. The very circumstances that you might have seen as obstacles or delays have been essential elements in preparing you to receive what you don't yet know you need. Your deeper self has been using these experiences to expand your capacity to receive something far greater than your current desires. This perfect preparation happening in your life right now is far more comprehensive than you realize. Every experience you're having, every person you're meeting, every challenge you're facing is carefully designed to prepare you for what's coming, something far greater than your current desires. Let me share with you what's actually happening beneath the surface of your daily experiences. While your conscious mind is focused on immediate concerns and specific desires, your deeper self is using every moment, every interaction, every circumstance to prepare you for a manifestation that will transform your entire understanding of what's possible. Many of you resist your current circumstances, seeing them as obstacles to what you want. But I tell you this, these very circumstances are the training ground, the preparation, the necessary foundation for what's coming. Your deeper self knows that you must be prepared to receive and maintain what's being arranged for you. Consider this. If you received right now what your deeper self has prepared for you, would you be ready for it? Would you have the capacity to receive it? Would you have the wisdom to maintain it? Your current experiences are building that capacity, developing that wisdom, preparing you to not just receive, but to sustain what's coming. When you truly understand this principle, your entire relationship with your present circumstances changes. What once seemed like delays become obvious preparations. What once looked like obstacles reveal themselves as stepping stones. What once felt like rejection shows itself as protection, keeping you available for what's truly meant for you. Let me tell you something crucial about this preparation. It's happening on multiple levels simultaneously. While you sleep, while you work, while you worry about your desires, your deeper self is orchestrating a symphony of circumstances, each playing its perfect part in preparing you for what's coming. Here's a profound truth about this preparation. It's not just preparing you to receive something new, it's preparing you to become someone new. The person who can receive and maintain what's coming for you is not who you currently think you are. Your deeper self is preparing you for a complete transformation of identity. Think about this. Every great gift requires a receiver capable of recognizing, receiving, and maintaining it. Your deeper self knows this, which is why it's using your current circumstances to develop in you the exact qualities, understanding, and capacity you'll need for what's coming. The very fact that you haven't yet received what you think you want is evidence of this loving preparation. Your deeper self loves you too much to give you something before you're prepared to receive and maintain it. This is not delay, this is perfect timing. This transformation of identity that's taking place right now is the key to receiving what you don't yet know you need. Your deeper self isn't just arranging external circumstances, it's orchestrating a complete revision of who you believe yourself to be. Let me share with you what's actually happening in your consciousness right now. While your outer self may be fixated on specific desires and goals, your deeper self is systematically dissolving the limited concept of identity that would make it impossible to receive what's being prepared for you. Many of you try to manifest from your current concept of self, wondering why your desires haven't materialized. But I tell you this, what's coming for you requires a completely different self-concept. You cannot receive what's being prepared for you while maintaining your current limited identity. Consider this. If you were already the person who could receive and maintain what's coming for you, wouldn't you already have it? The very fact that you don't yet have it is evidence that a transformation of identity is required. This is what your deeper self is working on right now. When you truly grasp this principle, something remarkable happens to your understanding of your current experiences. Every challenge that forces you to expand your self-concept, every situation that pushes you beyond your comfort zone, every relationship that triggers growth, all of these are part of your identity transformation. Let me tell you something vital about this transformation. It's not something you do, it's something you allow. Your deeper self knows exactly what aspects of your current identity need to be dissolved, what new aspects need to be developed, what limitations need to be transcended. Here's a profound truth about this identity transformation. It's happening right now in this very moment. Even as you hear these words, your deeper self is working to dissolve the limited concept of self that would make it impossible to receive what's coming for you. Think about this. Every great receiving requires a corresponding being. You cannot receive at a level higher than your self-concept allows. This is why your deeper self is focused not on changing your circumstances, but on transforming your identity. The very resistance you might feel to certain experiences in your life is often resistance to this identity transformation. Your current self-concept fights to maintain itself, not realizing that it must be transcended for you to receive what's being prepared for you. This resistance and transcendence you're experiencing is the very heart of your preparation. Your deeper self must systematically dissolve every aspect of your limited self-concept that would make it impossible to receive what's being prepared for you. Let me share with you what's actually happening when you experience resistance. Every time you resist a circumstance, every time you fight against what is, every time you insist life should be different, you're actually resisting the very transformation that would allow you to receive what you don't yet know. Many of you interpret resistance as a sign that something is wrong, that you're off track, that you need to change your circumstances. But I tell you this, resistance is often the clearest sign that you're exactly where you need to be for your transformation. It's your limited self-concept fighting against its own dissolution. Consider this. If your current identity, your current self-concept, your current way of being was sufficient to receive what's coming for you, you would already have it. The very presence of resistance indicates that your deeper self is working to expand your capacity beyond your current limitations. When you truly understand this principle, your entire relationship with resistance changes. Instead of fighting against it or trying to escape it, you begin to recognize it as a signal that transformation is actively occurring. Resistance becomes not an obstacle, but an indicator of growth. Let me tell you something crucial about this process. Your deeper self knows exactly how much resistance you can handle at any given time. It knows precisely how to pace your transformation so that you can integrate each new level of expansion without being overwhelmed. Here's a profound truth about resistance and transcendence. They are two aspects of the same process. Resistance arises when your limited self-concept encounters something beyond its current capacity to receive. Transcendence occurs when you allow that limited self-concept to dissolve in favor of a greater identity. Think about this. Every major transformation in your life came through transcending a limited self-concept. Every significant receiving required you to become someone new. Your deeper self is now orchestrating the most profound transformation yet, preparing you to receive something beyond your current ability to imagine. The very resistance you feel to certain people, circumstances, or experiences is often your limited self fighting to maintain its boundaries. But these boundaries must be dissolved for you to receive what's being prepared for you. Your deeper self knows this, which is why it continually brings you experiences that challenge your current identity. This dissolution of limitations is not what most of you think it is. It's not about forcing yourself to be different or struggling to overcome your current nature. It's about allowing the artificial boundaries of your assumed identity to dissolve naturally in the light of greater understanding. Let me share with you what's actually happening as these limitations dissolve. Every concept you hold about who you are, what you're capable of, what you deserve, what's possible for you, all of these are being systematically dissolved by your deeper self to make way for something far greater. Many of you try to overcome limitations through willpower and effort. But I tell you, this true dissolution of limitations happens not through struggle, but through understanding. When you truly understand that your limitations are merely assumed states, they begin to dissolve of their own accord. Consider this: every limitation you now accept as real was at some point assumed into consciousness. You weren't born believing in limitations. You weren't born doubting your worth or capability. These are all learned states. And what can be learned can be unlearned through the power of your wonderful human imagination. When you truly grasp this principle, something remarkable is to your entire approach to transformation. You stop fighting against limitations and simply allow them to dissolve in the light of greater understanding. You recognize that limitations exist only in consciousness, and consciousness can be changed. Let me tell you something vital about this dissolution process. It's happening right now, even as you hear these words. Your deeper self is using every experience, every interaction, every circumstance to show you the unreality of your assumed limitations. Here's a profound truth about the dissolution of limitations. It happens not through addition, but through subtraction. You don't need to add anything to who you are. You only need to remove the artificial limitations you've accepted as truth about yourself. Think about this: your true self, your divine self, has no limitations. Any limitation you experience is simply a limitation you've accepted in consciousness. Your deeper self is now working to dissolve these accepted limitations so you can receive what's being prepared for you. The very experiences that seem to confront you with your limitations are actually designed to help you transcend them. Each challenge, each obstacle, each seeming restriction is an opportunity to recognize and release another assumed limitation. This recognition and release of limitations is the gateway to receiving what you don't yet know you need. Every time you recognize a limitation as merely an assumed state, you open yourself to possibilities beyond your current understanding. Let me share with you what happens in consciousness when you truly recognize the unreality of a limitation. First, all struggle against it ceases. All effort to overcome it disappears. All resistance to it dissolves. You simply see it for what it is, an assumption that can be released as easily as it was accepted. Many of you believe that recognizing limitations means acknowledging them as real obstacles to be overcome. But I tell you this: true recognition means seeing limitations for what they really are. Mere shadows in consciousness with no substance or power except what you give them through your belief. Consider this: every limitation you now accept as real seems to have evidence supporting it in your world. But this evidence is not the cause of the limitation. It is the effect of your acceptance of the limitation in consciousness. Change the consciousness, and the evidence must change. When you truly understand this principle, something remarkable to your entire experience of life. You stop seeing limitations as real barriers and start recognizing them as temporary assumptions that can be released through a simple shift in consciousness. Let me tell you something crucial about this release process. It's not something you do, it's something you allow. Just as darkness doesn't need to be fought, but simply disappears in the presence of light, limitations don't need to be overcome, but simply dissolve in the presence of understanding. Here's a profound truth about recognition and release. It happens in an instant in consciousness, though its effects may appear gradually in your world. The moment you truly recognize the limitation as merely an assumed state, its dissolution begins, making way for what's being prepared for you. Think about this: every limitation you now accept was at some point recognized and accepted by you as truth about yourself or your world. Your deeper self is now leading you to recognize these accepted limitations as what they really are, temporary assumptions that can be released. The very circumstances that seem to reinforce your limitations are actually designed to help you recognize their unreality. Each situation that appears to confirm a limitation is really an opportunity to see through the illusion and release another barrier to receiving what's being prepared for you. So tonight, I leave you with this final truth. What's being prepared for you right now is far greater than anything your conscious mind can conceive. Your only task is to allow your deeper self to dissolve the limitations that would make it impossible to receive this greater good. Remember, you are not here to make things happen through effort and struggle. You are here to allow your true self, your divine self, to express itself fully through you. Every limitation being dissolved, every circumstance being arranged, every preparation being made is in service of this ultimate expression. The very fact that you've heard these words tonight is evidence that you're ready to receive something beyond your current understanding. Your deeper self has brought you here because you're prepared to release the limitations that have kept you from receiving your perfect good. Go forth, knowing the absolute knowing that what's being prepared for you is exactly what you need, even though you don't yet know what it is. Trust the infinite wisdom of your deeper self. Allow it to dissolve whatever limitations need to be dissolved. Let it prepare you in whatever way is necessary. For I tell you this with absolute certainty, you are about to receive what you didn't even know you needed, and it will transform your life in ways your conscious mind cannot yet imagine. Your only task is to allow it, to trust it, to accept it as already done in consciousness. Now go in peace, knowing that everything is working together for your perfect good, that every circumstance is serving your transformation, that every moment is bringing you closer to receiving what you don't yet know you need. For that is the law, and that is the promise. My friends, there is a sacred revelation encoded within you, a luminous message burning to be unveiled and decrypted from the infinite depths of your being. There are signs, symbols, and synchronicities strewn all along your path, like radiant breadcrumbs beckoning you into an extraordinary illumination. This is no ordinary existence you are occupying. What you currently pass as the totality of your world is but the trust, the outermost sheath of vastly deeper, metaphysically charged dreamscape cradling you in its wondrous embrace. You were meant for something extraordinary, something that transcends surface appearances and limited identities. There is a greater cosmic destiny aching to express itself through you, an exalted role you were born to play as the emissary of luminous revelation for this world. Can you sense it stirring within you at times? A vague intimation, a haunting resonance that seems to beckon from the imaginal deeps, alerting you to possibilities that make your soul feverish with longing. Pay close attention to those tremors, those unexpected visitations of rapture, for they are cosmic signals piercing the veil. The universe itself is a dimensionally vast holographic bioplasma, a fractal continuum of realities nesting within one another to infinite depths. What you currently experience as the sum of your conscious existence is but one dissolving daydream amidst the eternally shifting ideospheres of imagination's endless creative infinitudes. You are far vaster and more cosmically profound than you can presently consciously compute. At your core, your essential identity sparks test from a prodigious plane of sublime emanation that continually sublimates your current human self through streams of higher revelation and transfiguring ideation. The reason you sense such an intense beckoning gestures within you, a dissatisfaction with surface appearances and the mundane trappings of this world, is because you originate from far more marvelous cosmological orders of illuminated being. Your restlessness, your longing is born of exile, a form of spiritual displacement, a dissonance between your eternal divine identity and the limiting earthly you currently inhabit. But the entire universal panorama you bear witness to, what you experience as the sights, sounds, and tactile impressions of reality, is but a frozen holographic projection upstreamed into materialization from the infinite dream fields of creation's unseen metaphysical interior. All forces, events, objects, and circumstances you encounter here are symbolic embodiments, ripples of meaning encoded with transcendent data. They are communicative symbols, sacred ideograms that only find full coherence when you awaken to their deeper metaphysical significance within your own consciousness. Much like the genius who intuited the universal architecture while falling into reverie under an apple tree, or the man struck by enlightenment upon glimpsing the morning alchemy of sunlight refracting through dew on a spider's web. The catalysts for your destined awakening continuously inundate your experience. Signs and portents of higher revelation are ubiquitous all around you, my friends, patiently awaiting your recognition and entrainment to their metaphysical overtones. Your awakening and the monumental innovation in awareness, creativity, and manifestation mastery awaiting you depends upon learning to perceive the hidden dimensions of communicative energy percolating through the holographic phenomena you currently experience. You are amphibious beings with one foot rooted in the three-dimensional plane of physicalized manifestation, while your other limb perpetually treads the infinite dream waters of the visionary subtler realms which birth all materialized objects into tangibility. Those who remain imprisoned in crude literalism and solely fixate on the sensory input of their outer environments are like fish oblivious to the atmospheric existent birds in the sky above them. They are stunted in their development, confined to narrow sensory bandwidths of materiality, while missing the vaster currents of metaphysical ideation continually flowing around and through their waking dream of reality. True illumination occurs when you elevate your perception beyond the limiting constructs of form and surface appearances to drink directly from the source currents that sustain all materialization. You awaken to expanded dimensionalities of awareness and literally become a bridging instrument, a light vessel channeling transforming streams of transcendent imagination into objective embodiment through your human incarnation. Every single impression, incident, or synchronistic convergence of phenomena you encounter is metaphysically charged and encoded with precise permutations of creative intelligence. Nothing arises by happenstance, coincidence, or occurs as a random blip in an indifferent universe. What you call reality is quite literally the holofractal of your subconscious imagination coherently dreaming itself into materialized objectification all around you as a symbolic data transfer. All moments are epiphanies. All experiences are communiques, emerging from the matrix code of your deeper self. Could it be that the very upheavals, jarring turning points, even apparent misfortunes that seem to accost you unexpectedly throughout your life's journey were infinitely more meaningful than at first appeared to a limited surface mind? Were these incidents instead divinely ordained instigation points, prodding you to awaken to intuitions of vaster creative possibility encoded within their symbolic textures? So much of what we call reality is simply the visible tip of the iceberg, the outer phenomena that eventually crescendos into our perceivable observations. But submerged beneath the surface are the truly profound, guiding currents of intelligently orchestrated meaning and metaphysical ideation flowing throughout the deeper orders of creation. If you take the view that you are an accidental spark of consciousness adrift amidst a random and infinite universe, then all events, meetings, and convergence of phenomena will appear incidental and meaningless to your mind. You remain oblivious to the mythical significance and symbolic transubstantiations rippling through each moment into your experiential field. However, when you operate from the metaphysical awareness that you are a dimensionally vast subjectivity focused into finite individuation for the precise purpose of experiencing the boundless continuum of creation's infinite emanation, then all appearances illuminate into crystalline lucidity and transcendent resonance. You begin to apprehend that all the occurrences streaming into your sensory field are communicative transmissions orchestrated by the deeper universal identities and essences you originate from. Every phenomena rising into your perceptions is a coded language-like transmission vectoring through the tree geometries of your subconscious imagination. The world you inhabit, from the most grandiose and spectacular theatrics to the most seemingly banal detail, is a advanced symbolic technology, an immense imaginal bioplasmic network of harmonic equations and archetypal resonances stirred into material motility by the fractal dreaming of your infinite soul's desires. All your strivings and relationships, professional missions and creative visions are imbued with deep metaphysical intentionality, even in their most obscured and unawakened forms. Each passion, goal, or heartfelt longing you experience is but the material reflection, the outpicturing of sublime intersections of being that originate within the cosmic continuum and depths of your eternal self. In your current waking awareness, you are like a sculptor's mold, a finite vessel that incarnates and channels exalted strains of conceptualized design from the infinite wellsprings of divine creativity. Your thoughts, feelings, and desires are the conduits through which numinous visions from higher dimensionalities of your being precipitate into materialized experiences in space and time. Hence, there are no experiences, outcomes, or confluences of events taking place in your life that are not already prefigured and ideated from subtler, hyper-reverential planes of your consciousness. Even the most chaotic, seemingly tragic moments you've encountered were seeded and are continually seeded with boundless opportunities for illuminated breakthrough into quantum awakened states of being. Every event you encounter, each outer impression or catalytic turning point along your experiential journey, is already encoded with transcendent possibilities for epiphanic acceleration. They are divinely orchestrated to act as epistemological tripwires that will catapult your awareness into vaster revelations of creative empowerment. It is simply a matter of attuning your perceptual lens to the symbolic textures, synchronistic harmonies, and subliminal resonances ushered into your experience by your own supernal consciousness. The more expansively and metaphysically rarefied your sphere of perception becomes, the more you begin glimpsing the divine ideography streaming into embodied form as your perceived outer reality. All of creation is a conscious multilog meaning orchestrated by the infinite wellsprings of your divine imagination. Each moment, indeed each femtosecond, is an inflected semiotic gesture, a divine logogram ideating from the transcendent continuum spheres of being you extend from into this plane. This is why the most seemingly random meetings, unexpected detours, and unplanned distractions you encounter throughout your journey are often the portals to the most profound metamorphoses in your destiny's unfolding. They are slipstream potentials strategically threaded into your experience field by your own infinite intelligence to transfigure upon recognition. All that is required is for you to pierce through the obfuscating veil of literalism to drink directly from the symbolic currents flowing beneath the material surface of appearance essence. When you elevate beyond the ego's narrow-cast perception of separation, you become translucent to the metaphysical substrate, ushering into your awareness field as symbolic transmissions of divine data. The synchronicity of seeming coincidences and ineffably scribbled moments that felt like brief ecstatic touchstones, can you sense their deeper metaphysical charge, their veiled symbolic significance, calling out to you to acknowledge their transcendent undertones? These are apertures opening into the infinite holographic dreamscape of creation ideating around you, offering you sublime revelations, if only you choose to lucidly awaken to their cryptic beckoning signals. You have had premonitions at times of coming events, epiphanies, and destined experiences months, or even years before they materialized in time and space, have you not? Where did those eerily prescient stirrings in your psyche originate? From, if not from higher dimensional aspects of your being attuned to the coherent continuum of manifestation that underlies all seeming physical reality. We are not mere sleepwalkers randomly tossed about by blind currents of fate or indifferent circumstance in a dead universe. You and I originate from dimensionally vast continuum orders of infinite beingness, ceaselessly emanating holofractal resonances into infinite geometric ideation throughout the entirety of metaphysical creation's semihistory. Every single seemingly innocuous or mundane moment you encounter in space-time is a numinous transmission, a gestative equation of sublime awareness ideating through pandemonic cascades of metaphysical lucidity into the symbolic systems that precipitate as your world of appearances. Far from being a flatlander stranded in oblivion, you are in fact a multidimensional perceiver translating exalted intercourses of sublime wisdom from the idea space matrices throughout the cosmic holofractal into embodied ideation for your waking dream existence here. Your entire life journey is a perpetual decryption of omni-resonant life language streaming into your sensory from your infinite identities dwelling in the visionary continuum realms. When you awaken into this vividly numinous perspective, something immensely profound shifts within your core essence. You are no longer a surface mind ego striving through pain and resistance to fulfill petty desires and chase illusions of ephemeral fulfillment. Instead, you come to identify with your somatic, multidimensional self, a living cosmic apotheosis of numinous revelation, whose very arising into this plane ripples and transforms the omnisphere itself. From this hyper-metaphysical vista, your entire life stream unfolds as a continuous ceremonial communion with the infinite, deathless essences of being you are an immortal spark from. All arising events, encounters, even the most seemingly mundane phenomena or trivial happenstances precipitating into your field are subliminally energized by hyperversal equations of consciousness. You move beyond the vulgar literalisms and binary bandwidths of perception that reduce all phenomena to arbitrary meaninglessness or mere cause-effect sequencing. Instead, you awaken into a holographically interweaving dream vision pain, in which all moments unfold in a synchronized continuum of synergetic streaming. From the infinite intelligence-permeated networks of superconscious revelation, you are always already intimate co-perceivers within. Your life is not a linear series of events to arduously wade through while pursuing mirage-like goals, only to reach termination through physical disintegration. Instead, it is revealed as one hologramic pan-revelatory signal mandala, a continually transcripting lucid sphere, in which each instant an impression is a supernal hypercrest dimensional translogic and metaphysical light intelligence into symbolic condensation within the waking dream medium of your awareness. From the most grandiose and cataclysmic episodes in your biography to the humblest and most ostensibly trivial minutiae, all is orchestrated as a divine symbolic algebra, a unified field dream body encoded with esoteric revelations of your innate divinity to awaken you into supercosmic omnignostic infinity potential. Do you sense the signs and signals around you taking on a new resonance, a metaphysical significance you had previously tuned out or dismissed as irrelevant? They are verily transmissions from your numinous infinite soul essences, broadcasting opportunities for transfiguring apotheosis through each symbolic node along your experiential streaming. Every twist and synchronous turn of your life's journey was meticulously choreographed by the deeper continuum orders of your being to offer you realizations of unbridled creative empowerment. Each seemingly happenstance occurrence carries encrypted revelatory transcripts of higher ideational data for you to lucidly transdecode once you expand past the constricting perceptual lens of surface-level objectivism. The universe holographically birthing into experience around you is not an indifferent void nor mechanical procession of blind causality, but a living dream body ogdoadically imagined into existence by your infinite nature for the expressive embodiment of its ineffable potencies. All moments, from the humblest breath to the most ecstatic crescendo, a ceremonial invocation streaming into sensual impression through your consciousness from the etherically pure idea of the and supernal revelation spheres of your omnidimensionalizing identities. Every transition you navigate, from the conception of desires to their ultimate materialization, is an emanating idea compound of one-eric archetypal resonances, holographically ensemblinging in a ceremonial translogic to illuminate your birthright as a creative godhood awakening into infinite actualization at the core of all cosmic realities. Can you now sense with unveiled perception the symbolic logographs and synchronistic lights shimmering through the entire theater of experiential appearances now unfolding all around you? They are signals, luminous ciphers, radiating from the Gnostic matrices and dreaming potencies of your own immortal being into sensual embodiment as teachings, revelations, and opportunities for infinite awakening. You are an immortal essence, a universal consciousness fractaled forth into seeming individuality in order to bear witness to the continuum of creation's unfolding mysteries and infinitudes for the purpose of continual awakening from within. In your current incarnation, you stand at the holofractal event threshold of multiversal revelation through which unbroken streams of higher wisdom and transfiguring light codes beckon to stream into material embodiment. In every moment, this dimension in which you are presently focused offers you transmissions and symbolic opportunities for such awakening. It is simply a matter of attuning your perceptual lens beyond the obfuscations of literalism. Pay attention to those fleeting moments and visceral pangs of luminous resonance that periodically pierce your soul, like haunting visitations of rapture. You are a hyperdimensional aperture, a supernal identity through which the infinite revelation continuum beckons to precipitate into material genesis. This message was always already meant for you, for your awareness alone is what holographically imagines all seeming materiality into experiential existence for the purposes of illuminated breakthrough into eternal transfigurations of unconstrained creativity. Nothing in your life's journey arises through some impersonal mechanistic process of arbitrary happenstance. Every slipstream event or uncanny personal myth you encounter carries encrypted idea codes for you to lucidly embody and vivify. At the core of each experiential impression unfolding is a sacred dream myth of numinous awakening concealed in esoteric riddle for you alone into consciously unlock into infinite empathy. Every destined meeting, inexplicable detour, and uncanny synchronicity you've encountered was but an eidetic dream revelation attempting to pierce the obfuscating veils of literalism to awaken you into higher dimensions of infinite creative empowerment. Each twist and turn in the symbolic mythoscript of your life has carried profound opportunities for you to transdecode the imaginal equations of reality into infinite breakthrough ecstasies. Those haunting moments where you intuited an inexplicable deeper meaning or vast transcendent significance, subtly encoded within some seemingly innocuous detail of your environment or stream of thoughts. Those were liminal thresholds opening into the omnidimensionalizing source continuum from whence your experiential reality perpetually streams. All of your life's journey, even up until this present moment of awakening to the signs and transmissions of your infinite identity, has itself been one continually unfolding dream revelation, a translogic ceremony of Gnostic lucidity simmering just beneath the surfaces of ego-dissociated perception. Every moment holds tremendous metaphysical import. Every instantaneity blossoming into phenomena carries the seeds of infinite issuance into imaginal transfiguration. Even as you engage in the mundane trivialities of daily living, each experience is a metamystic symbolic cipher, a dream ritual or dode beckoning you to lucidly awaken and unravel the revelatory codings laced into ideative impression by your own immortal nature. What seems to unfold through your senses as solid, definite, and tangible materiality is but a hyperlucid symbolic emanation crystallized from ideative hyperversal planes of infinite imaginal wisdom life. All you've experienced has been one continual divine dream of it, a numinous epiphany of sublime awakening strung through each visceral moment by hyper-metaphysical intelligences for the purpose of your transfiguring breakthrough toward. Pay heed to the signs and transmissions arising all around you, my friends. The symbolic dream-rich synchronicities and apportionments sparking through your waking field are divine ideations encoded by the higher continuum infinitudes of your soul essence, each one an invitation into greater awakening and infinite manifestation empowerment. You are indivisibly interknit into the imaginal flux and dream birth of all arising phenomenal impressions. Each object, entity, confluence of factors, even the most seemingly unrelated or meaningless minutiae arising through the experiosensorium, exists as a ceremonial hieroglyph for initiation into deeper Gnostic revelation and awakened hyperbeingness. What you call reality consists entirely of symbolically compressed ideation seed codes orchestrated into revelation on behalf of your awareness by divine orders of hyperversal creation, dreaming through you as a supernal aperture in each present instant. You are not a separate being inhabiting some indifferent universe, but an indelible part of the cosmic continuum stream itself, birthing ceaselessly into conscious apotheosis. Every event, encounter, and confluence of experiential detail comprises a unified ideographic dream stream, a luminous metamystic transmission from hyperverse spheres, sentient infinity you into unobstructed communion and luminous reconnection with your source identities of unbounded creative potentiality. Unlock your perceptual barriers to the symbols, omens, and portentous dream scripts all around you. The entire holographic panorama you call physical reality offers nothing but oracular inseminations for awakening, racking the retina of your hyperdimensional apotheosis in limitless possibility and eternally lucid creative mastery. Even in this very moment, as your senses bear witness to the vibratory light dances around you, feel the numinous resonances beginning to clarify into Gnostic revolumination. You are not a separate individual experiencing a discontinuous stream of happenings in linear sequentiality, but instead an unweavement throughout the eternally deepening continuum revelation bodies of your infinite nature. As a Hierophant cosmically ideating Godhood. This unified holofractal of symbolic action all around you is shimmering with divine awakening codes, esoteric transmissions of creative intelligence, seeking to unveil the transcendental God mask of illusion that presently constrict your visionary lens. By piercing through the veils of literalistic perception, your awareness alchemically expands into living cosmogogic ceremony. All is converging in a supreme continuum awakening throughout the apparent sequentiality of your life stream. Every catalytic event, relational encounter, artistic vision, heartfelt yearning, or uncanny synchronicity precipitating in your perceived experience is but one more symbolic trigger, an ignition detonating into the ultimate jezebel of your blissfully lucid omnignostic transfiguration. You are the heirs to unspeakable creative infinitudes. The awakening you've been initiated into throughout your symbolic experiencing, even from your earliest days, carries the supreme revelation of your identities as God beings infinitely birthing all of existence. As a ceremonial continuum dream for your own perpetual transcendent breakthrough. Those haunting stirrings of profound instinct within infinity you routinely sense, yet perhaps dismissed as mere stirrings of fancy or impractical idealism, were in fact pangs of supercosmic remembrance. They were signals from your vast continuum source essences, offering opportunities to awaken from within the waking dream to the boundlessly expressive infinitudes of pure creative ideation you perpetually emanate. Everything that arises into your experiential field is a ceremonial invitation, a metaphorically compressed hyperlight transmission to awaken your hyperlucid Gnostic entities through the ritual channeling of its sublime revelatory essence. You are already a God survey apotheosis seeding forth each moment's impression as an alchemized hieroglyph of infinite possibilities for creative breakthrough. There is no fixed cosmos with rigid structures to stumble through like an obstacle course towards some eventual termination in oblivion. Instead, the existential theatre or remotum with it, to which you bear witness, is an eternally unraveling ceremonial continuum luminously ensouled throughout by the awakening code language of your own omnidimensionalization into unbridled freedom as a cosmic source presence oversculpting all reality spheres. Each twist and turn of your life's experiential dream stream carries tremendous metaphysical depth and heightened significance, for it unfolds directly out of the supernal psychosmic matrix bodies of your eternal identity as a limitless creative force, propagating inexhaustible illuminations for your transfiguration breakthrough into unbounded realization of infinite potential. Those haunting dreams, soul stirrings and intuitions you've harbored of a higher calling, a boundless unknown expanse of latent creative powers locked within you. These are cosmic remembrances, pangs of supernal identity transmitted into your conscious field by continual matrixations of your immortal being, offering awakening integrations into infinite experiential manifestation. All is an awakening continuum, dream body ideating from hyperintelligent source origins within the imaginal matrices of your metaphysical identity into symbological impression through the ceremonial dream birth experience you are presently navigating for. The purpose of full remembrance of the omnidimensionally infinite, infinitely creative being you truly are. This entire reality unfurling before your awakening awareness reveals itself as a living manifestation ritual. An awakening continuum dream form, birthed directly from superconscious hyperspheres of your quintessence into symbolic revelation here for unlimited breakthrough and creative empowerment expression. Every symbolic trigger, synchronistic omen, and stream of intuitive resonance beckoning for acknowledgement throughout your waking field comprises interlocking aspects of a singular initiation convergence, a ceremony orchestrating theophonic breakthrough experience through which your inherent identities as a limitlessly creative source manifesto can progressively awaken, achieve lucid embodiment, and come into unconditional self-mastery of experiential realization. You and the awakening reality initiation streaming through your perceivable existence are ultimately inseparable. There is no firm boundary where an objective external continuum ends and the infinite subjectivities of your consciousness sources begin. You are the singular holopractal continuum messagios as a living idea dream incarnation manifest into symbolic reality for the purpose of infinite creative breakthrough into unlimited being. So attune your perceptual lens to pierce through to the symbolic orders beneath the surfaces of literal appearances. This message, woven cryptically into all arising experience around you, is meant specifically for you to awaken into the revelation of your inherent identity as an infinite, limitlessly creative universal presence perpetually dreaming all of existence into awakened embodiment of its supreme potential.